What up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of you all who will, you know I appreciate it. All that information is in the description box below. Also, go over to my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speaks TV. Make sure you subscribe over there. Now, let's get into this topic. Alright, y'all. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for clicking on the video. Now, this story is coming out of North Carolina, out of High Point, North Carolina. A North Carolina pastor who spoke out against violence in his community was shot and killed days after he was ordained. Pastor Robert Booth, 25 years old, had just recently proposed to his girlfriend before his life was cut short this week. A friend of Pastor Booth, Brandon Smith, told local news reporters that the thing that hurts him the most is that Pastor Booth was talking about wedding plans on Sunday to now his family planning his funeral. High Point police officers said officers responded to gunfire on Ardell Drive and found Pastor Booth had been shot. First responders tried life-saving measures before Pastor Booth was rushed to the hospital where he died. Pastor Booth leaves behind a 2-year-old son. Police are investigating the shooting as a homicide and are looking for 2 suspects and a car seen leaving the scene. Pastor Robert Booth is remembered as a pastor who was trying to stop the violence in his community, a man that loved his family, his fiancée, his son, and his congregation. Pastor Booth started the Hood Holiness Church of God and was ordained last week when he also got engaged. Now, I'm going to let you all watch this video and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary. And you all know me, I'm Dawson, and I won't hold back.
We came for no other reason than to magnify you.
I want people to know that it wasn't a drug deal gone bad. It wasn't him, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. It was just Robert being Robert, helping, and his life was ended like that.
25-year-old Robert Booth saw this vehicle police describe as a burgundy Nissan Rogue cruising through this apartment complex on Ardell Drive Tuesday night.
He just went out to help, to try to find out what was going on.
2 male suspects wearing ski masks were reportedly inside that vehicle. Robert's loved ones tell me at some point he started sharing the word of God with them.
He believed in street ministry. He would go to the corner, where the homeless were and just minister to them, just feed them, practically give you the shirt off his back just to show you that God, he loves you.
Minutes later, 911 calls started rolling in about gunshots in the area, at least one of those bullets striking and killing Robert. Take a look at this. You can see the surveillance footage with the vehicle involved in that shooting coming down Greenview Terrace. Less than 3 minutes later, police arrive.
Trying to preach the word to the people, and then they just shoot them anyway. I believe it's sad.
What makes this tragedy even tougher? Knowing Robert's son and fiancé no longer have him to lean on.
Robert was my brother. He's my friend. I call him my homie.
All right, y'all, let's go in. Now, first of all, I want to send my condolences to the family, friends, and associates of Pastor Robert Booth. His fiance, his mama, I know I saw them posting stuff on social media. They are taking it hard. And to his little son, who's going to have to grow up in this world without a father. Y'all, I'm tired of the senseless violence. I really am. And it's happening to so many men across the United States, particularly men of color, and in our communities. And what really gets me upset is when you have young men like this who want to reach back and help others and show them that, hey, my life wasn't perfect. I've done stuff too. But look, I've turned it around. Now I'm chasing God. I love music. I love my family. I have a purpose now. And when you have men like Pastor Robert Booth who went back in the community trying to help, and for this to happen to him, it makes me upset. It really does. It makes me upset. I know some people say, oh, Dawson, that's life. Well, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be just an everyday thing that we just get used to. Because, some people will say, and I'm going off, if y'all don't like it, click off the video right now. But it's my channel. I'm going to say what I want to say on the YouTube show I created. Don't forget that. Look here. Some people will say, oh, it's life and we shouldn't worry about it. And, God will take care of it. No, we going to take care of it. God gave us power, authority, and dominion to take care of the stuff that's going on in this world. Some of y'all don't want to exercise it. You don't want to utilize it. There's something that we have to stand up, not only when it's police brutality. I get those people who come over in my comments and say, oh, well, Black Lives. Yeah, Black Lives matter. And it's got to matter to us on a grand scale when we see stuff like this happening in our community. This is making me so upset because I have so many stories that people have sent me about this. I have one story that I have not touched because the young man who got shot, he was going in the field I'm in, wanted to become a psychiatrist. Life taken away. Over and over again, we're hearing these stories. And then it's on to the next one. Nobody cares. And the families are left grieving. Children are left motherless, fatherless. And I get what everyone's saying. I know people say, oh, when it's a police officer, we get all riled up and we protest. I get that. I protest too. I was the YouTuber who was out there. Go look at that video. I was out there protesting. But I'm also going to talk about the violence, which is why I'm a social worker. I'm in the projects. I'm in these communities. In some of these areas down here in Miami where there's gun violence. Have lost, have been with family members who've lost children from that. And it's just an ongoing thing. So yes, I'm going to continue to talk about stories like this one on my YouTube channel, even though I'm only one of a few people who have enough guts to talk about, stories like this one. Again, my condolences go out to the family, friends, and associates of Pastor Robert Booth, to the High Point police officers. I hope you all catch those men and bring them, those suspects, whoever they are, and bring them to justice for this family, please. And for those of you who are in High Point, North Carolina, and you all may know something and you all don't want to snitch, look, we got to forget about that not snitching mess, because from the news reports that I've been reading, they're saying that this homicide was connected to another one, meaning that these suspects are just going on a rampage up there in High Point, and they need to be taken off the streets, you all. You got to turn these people in. So I hope the police officers find them. And also, let me say this. I know there are individuals who come on my show, and you all have said in other videos similar to this one, Dawson, there are people in the community who stand up against violence. There are some organizations there. And I will tell you, yes, there are some, but it does not appear to be many. But for the ones who are there, and I know when I was in college, we had fraternities and sororities who went back and they helped in, certain inner cities and certain communities. So for those individuals who are helping out, I want to say this to you. To the people who work with individuals in communities that are plagued by crime, or you may live there, I want to say I see you all. I know you're there. The ones who try to help out, to the fraternities and the sororities, to the churches, the youth groups. You may not be a mega churches, but the small churches who, like Pastor Booth here, they did street ministry. For those of you who are out there, I know you're there. I see you. And sometimes we hear you because y'all so loud with y'all microphones and stuff, and we just let y'all keep going when y'all out there having street service. I know you're there. To the many, they don't talk about the fraternities and the sororities that go and they mentor and they try to help in these young kids. To you mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles and just people who may go in and take some young girls to, get their hair done. You try to mentor these young boys on the basketball court or take them to see a theater show or live poetry. I know y'all there. They'll never give you credit on YouTube. They'll never talk about you on news. Not all the time, but all I'm saying is that when there is violence in our community and we are seeing young men and women and even older men and women getting gunned down in our black and brown communities, there needs to be more of an outcry, not just when it's police brutality. That's all. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I know some of y'all, well, Dawson, we need to talk about police brutality. Yes, we're going to talk about it, and I have talked about it. Like I said, I was out there marching this time last year. Go watch that video. But we also have to talk about the mentalities in our community to keep this violent cycle going. There are elderly people in our communities who are afraid to go outside because they feel they're going to get shot. Children who can't go out and play. People who are just going to work, going to the grocery store. The violence in some of these communities. Where's the outcry for that? I'm off of this, y'all. But let me say this before I go. To all of you individuals out there who have lost loved ones, some to violence, some to other things, and you're grieving, a way to deal with the grief, a way to let people know that they're not my loved one, they're not here physically, but their name will always be here. Start a scholarship fund, a memorial scholarship fund. Start an organization for you parents who've lost, children to violence. Start a meetup group for those who lost mothers or aunts or fathers to cancer. Something. Start something. You're not the only one in the world who's going through that. Don't sit with that grief. Don't sit with that. Start something, you all. Let them know. Yeah, my child's not here physically, but I'll never let you forget their name. I'm going to do this in their honor. I'm going to start this organization in their honor. That's what you do. You all take care of yourself and each other. Please take care of yourself. Go off in the comments. Let me know what you think about this video. Until next time, it's your guy Dawson. Peace.